GDP is up, unemployment is down. Is the UK's recovery roaring ahead? I'm Sophia Aribo, and with me to share his thoughts on the UK economy is ING's Rob Carnell. IMF head Christine Lagarde has said she got it wrong when she criticised the UK government's austerity programme. Rob, how much of the recovery would you attribute to austerity, or are there other factors?
Well, it's an interesting question. The austerity for the UK never really happened. If you look at the government spending statistics, the contributions to GDP, I mean, lots of things did fall during the global financial crisis, but government spending never did. It carried on rising reasonably steadily. So, I mean, a lot of us felt pain in terms of increased tax rates and decreased benefits, but a large chunk of government spending goes on pensioners, and they never really took any kind of hit. So spending carried on going, and it was really more the absence of austerity that's been perhaps a beneficial factor in the UK recovery, rather than any kind of, the UK doing anything at all. They didn't do any.
Some analysts are worried about an increase in inflation and a decrease in productivity. How much of a threat are these to the UK economy?
I don't think deflation is a particular worry in the UK. I mean, we have only just closed the gap between growth pre-crisis and where we are now. So I think there's still quite a sizable amount of spare capacity in this economy, and we can carry on growing quite nicely before inflation starts to be a problem. But with growth going as it is, the fact that the price level remains a bit soggy for a bit, I don't think really should worry people unduly. The productivity story is another one, which, productivity itself is a weird measure. It's a sort of just a spillover from a number of other things. When growth picks up, productivity tends to pick up. One of the concerns for the Bank of England would be that as growth started to return, you'd see a big pickup in productivity, and this would keep the labour force from growing and jobs numbers from picking up. And we just haven't seen that either in the UK or in the United States particularly, which has sort of led the business cycles around the world. So I don't think productivity is really a factor that we need to worry about.
The UK's trade deficit widened during April and exports fell. How much of a problem is the strength of the pound?
Well, the pound certainly could become a problem if it strengthens too much further. But the recent numbers, they didn't go in the right direction, but previous figures haven't been too bad. It's not clearly been the case that the UK recovery is coming solely on the back of an unsustainable widening in the trade deficit. I think that argument, isn't helped by the recent data, but the trend recently hasn't been too worrying at all. However, these things do take some time to come through. There tend to be long lags from the currency and trade. So I wouldn't say it won't happen, but for the time being, I don't think it's a problem. If sterling goes too much stronger, then maybe we'll have some great cause for concern.
Rob, how soon do you think the Bank of England will increase the interest rate?
Well, it's a question of when I think they will and when they should. I think that, like most people, we're not expecting anything from the Bank of England until early next year. However, the fact that the growth numbers are in excess of 3% on an annualized basis, with the fastest growing G7 economy in the world, and we have what appears to be quite a substantial housing market boom, if not bubble, at least in the southeast and London in particular, suggests that something, if not rates, but some form of macroprudential policy ought to be implemented rather sooner. So I think that's where we favour policy, not so much coming in to smash things down with rates anytime soon, but some policy aimed directly at the housing market does look as if it's overdue now.
Thanks, Rob. For a look at the Irish housing market, be sure to watch Darren McDermott's interview. Goodbye for now.